Cool. All right. So planning, why bother? Why do we even bother doing it? Okay. So I want you to imagine cooking a dish and think about the outcome of that dish and what it would look like, what it would taste like. And let's say you were cooking it for your partners or your friends. Okay. You wouldn't be able to create that brand new dish without a recipe or ingredients, right? So you wouldn't know how to get to that end state without the plan. Imagine going on a road trip somewhere, so somewhere that you're going, and imagine that you go without direction. So without Google Maps, most of us use Google Maps, I guess, or your iPhone one, and that gives you direction and where you're going, right? So if you think about the outcome that you want to achieve, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your personal life, the plan is the recipe and the ingredient of how to create the outcome. Okay. It's the same with the Google Maps side of things. It's the plan is the direction, and without both, you really are not going to be able to create that final dish. You are really not going to be able to find that direction about where you're going. So it's absolutely essential that the planning phase is met every single time without fail. The minute you don't look at your sat nav on your journey, you're going to be lost, right? The minute you're cooking your meal and you fail to add a key ingredient, or there's a part of the recipe or part of the instructions that's missing, the whole dish collapses, right? And it's the same with your outcome with what you're trying to achieve, whether you're trying to achieve a six-figure business, whether you're trying to achieve just a good work-life balance, whether you're just trying to get 5 customers through your front door. Okay, the plan is the blueprint of how that's going to happen. Okay, so what we have is SRS to make that work, which is structure, routine, and system. Now I'm going to record, this is recorded so I can send this to you, but if you want to make notes, that's cool. So for me, when I was thinking about, okay, what makes a system, what makes the whole thing work? What makes the whole pie work? So these are the ingredients. Okay, this is the recipe and this is the direction following these 3 things. Now I just want to kind of give you a little input in one. So structure for me, structure is the set format with timings. It's about taking all of the chaos, everything that's going on in your life, and just being able to bring it, closing it all in just to a very small matter. So you can fit it all in a box and it's just structured, all right? Rather than everything being everywhere. It's what we would call sniper laser focus, okay? So rather than it being a shotgun approach, it's very precise and clear. It's very precise and clear. It is, in theory, your blueprint to showing up. So when we create a structure, if you look at the accountability system we have in the WhatsApp, it's a set format for you guys to show up with particular timings for you to meet, okay? Then we have the accountability card that shows who's been showing up. So that is what I would consider a structure. The 28-day productivity program, the new course that you've gone on in terms of the time domination, that is a structure. Okay, it's all set out for you. We did week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and the structure of next one is planning your 10 years, reverse engineer. So it's all structured, the blueprint. All right, that makes sense. So here's an example of how I structure my planning weekly and what I do on what day. All right, so this is what I do. This is my structure, and I've stuck with this. So on Thursdays, I do my brain dump. Okay. All right, so I brain dump everything that needs to be done next week in each of the pillars, and I just get it down. It takes about 10 minutes. Like, you know, it's not a lot of time. On the Friday, I prioritize. So I get the highlighter pens out and I go, right, what's my 28-day goal? What do I need to do this week to meet that 28-day goal? So when we come back to that recipe, when we come back to those, the ingredients, when we come back to that Google Maps, what I'm doing is creating the prioritized tasks that are basically, I'm saying, these are the ingredients I need, this is the recipe I need, and this is the direction I need to achieve that outcome, okay? And then usually, if I have time on the Friday, I might go ahead straight away and write out my plan, or on Saturday morning, I'm up early around 7 anyway, so I might just come down literally and write out my plan, okay? Then on Sunday at 5 o'clock, between 5 and 5:30 is my structured time to do my overwatch for the week. So I look at my plan, I do what's called an overwatch, and the overwatch of the plan is actually going through each day in my head. So everything I've written out in terms of my timetable, I visualize Monday. So I visualize me doing my morning routine, my walk, sitting down. What content am I doing? What's the headline of the show that I'm doing the family bit, doing the jiu-jitsu, doing the first work session. So I literally go through all the way through the week, and that takes about 10 minutes. And that is a structure. That is a structure that I just follow. And that brings order and control, okay, rather than chaos and frustration. Order and control rather than frustration, okay? Now, the routine for me is the actioning of that structure. It's basically oiling the moving parts, the moving parts you've created through the structure. Now, you all have routine. Even if you get out of bed 10 minutes before you're meant to leave the house, and you grab your keys and you grab a coffee and you're rushed and you get in the car and you drive to work, that is a routine. It's not a very good routine. It's a frustrating routine, but it's still a routine, okay? The thing that makes the routine work well is the structure. You can't have a good routine without structure, because you don't know what the routine's about. You don't know what you're trying to achieve in there. So it's just, my routine is like sitting down on a Thursday from 9 to 9:30 or 9:20 and doing my brain dump. That's the routine that meets the structure. Then in the morning, I do my podcast and my planning between 9 and 10 o'clock on a Friday morning. That's where I then do my prioritization, write out my plans, and then put up my podcast. So that's my routine. It's my routine showing up to fulfill the structure. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody, okay? And then the system is the connecting of the dots. It's setting the alarms, the environments, it's the accountability. So the system makes the routine work, which makes the structure fulfilled, okay? So it's a case of being in the right environment to plan your week. It's in the right environment to look at your Overwatch. It's in the right environment to hold yourself accountable, okay? And it's a case of making sure, okay, that the routine and structure work well together. You're connecting the dots between the two of them, okay? Okay, so let's just quickly summarize in why we need to plan. If you don't plan, if you don't do your accountability that I set, if you don't do your planning, what ends up happening is you become disconnected. So if you think about any relationship that you've ever been in, and I'm sure we've all been in those relationships where we completely disconnect from that person because we stop communicating, because we stop understanding, because we stop listening. And connection to what you're trying to achieve on a bigger picture within your business. And this is at the very fundamental part of you learning to grow your business, okay? It's connecting with what you're trying to do. The minute that you don't write down your plan or you're not accountable is the minute you start to disconnect from your plan immediately. All right, so why people say, I go, oh, do you know what? I write down the great plan, but I never do it. That's because they're not accountable. That's because they don't say, right, I've done what I said I was going to do, which is why you do what you do in the WhatsApp group. That's why it's so important. And that phase is so important, to be connected to what you're trying to achieve. And the more you connect with it, the more you touch it, the more you communicate with it, feel it, listen to it, visualize it, the more you're in the game. Okay, that's what we're aiming for, always being in the game. The accountability side is to make sure that you do what you said you were going to do. Okay, that's basically sort of like putting you on a pedestal and saying, hey, why aren't you doing what you're doing? This is now time to show up. The 3 C's. So just as a reminder, the first one is consistency of action over and over and over again at the most basic level. Okay, most people aren't consistent because they don't know what to be consistent in, because there is no plan, or they try to do too much, so it becomes overwhelming and they become inconsistent. The second C is control. So controlling your time, like how you're managing your time, controlling your energy management, your energy levels, controlling your levels of productivity, and then controlling your state of mind and how you build that relationship with yourself and your business, okay? And then the last C is clarity of where you're going and how you're getting there, okay? I think that's really important as well. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, cool. All right. So just in terms of, I wanted to go through that because I just wanted to re-emphasize the importance of the plan at a micro level and everything that you're trying to achieve. And having it in that SRS format is really important. So when you ask yourself, am I well planned? Am I doing what I said I was going to do? Am I structured? Do I have a structure? Okay. Do I have a routine that's meeting that structure and fulfilling that structure? And do I have a system that makes that routine well to connect the dots? And I think they're really important. And really, for the benefit of those people that are watching back, connecting with August as being a relationship goal, having adventures, building highlight reels, and really understanding that actually this is a great opportunity to not completely take your foot off the gas, but actually step back and build some key relationships. Okay, guys. So this is the part where I open up for anyone that wants to come on and ask me any questions, or if there's anything that you need from me, or if there's any directional paths that you want me to help you or advise you on within your business, just let me know. Who's first? Someone's got to step up first. Marianne's first. Here we go. Boo.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Great. Good stuff. So yeah, I had a question, maybe not directly related to this, but just looking over the videos this week.
Yeah.
And I just sort of wondered, as this is my first week of the 3 months,
Yeah.
how far I've done my first brain dump, but maybe not as I'd watched the video and then I just left a coffee shop and had to do something else, so I missed that opportunity. So I did it on my computer, but not as intensely as you suggest. So by next week, where should I be in the journey, and where should we be when?
Is this for the big picture, right? For the bigger
Yeah,
picture?
yeah.
Can I just give you some advice straight away? And it's like, don't do it on your computer, because I don't believe that you can brain dump and communicate that brain dump onto paper quick enough on unless you're one of those speedo typers that's like and gets it out. Get something like this. Like this, it's just something powerful when you get everything out of your head and you get it on paper.
Okay.
And you just scribble, and you then don't have to wait till you're in a coffee shop. You could be on the bus. Do you know what I mean? You could be anywhere, and you could just literally be scribbling down all of these thoughts and visions about what you want in life. Mm-hmm. So I would say for you and Claire and Sheridan and any of the other guys when they're catching up with this, in terms of the next phase, those first 5 weeks are very structured in terms of week 1, I want you to do this, 2, I want you to do 3, I want you to do this. So the main thing that I would emphasize with the next phase is that there is no real time constraints. It is an evolution or a journey for you to embark on as and when you can get to those points, right? Because not only are you starting to learn and embrace all of those new theories and processes to build up a much bigger plan, but you're also trying to embed everything that you've learned at the same time as well. So plus you're now involved in this accountability system, so you're like, oh my god, there's loads going on. But what I would say is manage at a level where you feel that is right for your level of conditioning. Because if I start saying to you, right, I want that done by here, I want that done by here, that's when the pressure builds on. And I often find that courses I've done before, when there's too much pressure, you tend to just stop.
Yeah.
And I want it to be an enjoyable journey. What we do in here is always process based in terms of it's always evolving. Everything's like, you could set your 10-year vision, and then in 12 weeks, you could have had an epiphany or something good to change in your life, and the direction of where your business and your personal life could change. So I think what's understanding is when you go through it all, it's actually understanding the blueprint, the principles, the values of everything that you're trying to do to build up that vision, and doing it at a pace that suits you around everything else that's going on in your life.
Okay.
Cool. Does that make sense?
That does, yeah. Follow-up question.
Go.
So after that first bit is done and I'm set with the 10-year plan and the everything, all the breakdowns and the reverse engineering, how should you look to like watch the videos sooner rather than later and like in a steady fashion, or are they or like
so if you think about the videos, they're anywhere between 4 and 10 minutes long. Like, they all vary. If I said to you, why don't you watch one video a day, Monday to Friday, and then watch the video? Do you remember, like, the challenge? You would watch the video, you'd think about it, and then you'd action it.
Yeah.
I think a good structure of doing this would be like to watch one video a day, get into a routine of watching that video or watching the next video at the same time. And then the system would be, right, watch the video, reflect for an hour, action. Or watch the video, if it's something that's short and sharp, action it immediately and make that. So you use that function that we just used there, the SRS, to actually build a structure, routine, and system to carry out the course, so to speak.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
So in theory, as an action plan after this call, you can create the structure of how you want it to be, create the routine, and then the system is putting it into play.
Okay.
How's the business side of things going for you?
Business side, pretty badly. But coming off the back of the 28-day course, I'm like a chronically late person and have been like all my life.
Yeah.
And so is my mum. And it's like a long running joke among like all my family and extended family that my mum is like the latest person ever. And in the first week, I was like smashing, all, like being on time, being early. And for me, like that's like a really massive thing. So I'm impressed that I've even managed to do that so quickly and like stick with it.
Yeah. What is the business that you do?
I'm a music teacher, so I teach peripatetic violin privately and in schools and for charities. And then I also do basically music performance and events and a bit of like film work as well. So anything performing, dancing, doing this.
Love it. So why do you think it's going badly?
Because I am distracted with, I have too many things on and I feel obliged to other people and other people's projects. And I've realized after reading, or I'm still reading a book about boundaries, I have poor boundaries with other people and I don't put myself first. So
are you a yes girl?
A little bit, yeah. And I've been told that, and I sort of wore it as like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I'm so busy. And even when I was, you know, a teenager, I was going to school and going to college at the same time, playing bands, playing orchestra. Like every day, I was doing something different.
Okay. So I guess you're working on this now, but do you have an idea of that? I asked that question, and you said, "Yeah, going well." What that going well would look like?
I think the going well would look like having set periods of time in the week that I knew in advance that was sort of immovable, and that if something comes up, I don't try and shoehorn it into some other awkward space or replace it with my stuff. I'm like, no, that's my thing. Okay. And I've started to do that a little bit.
For you personally, or for you to make money?
Actually both. A little bit. Yeah, sometimes a bit of both, but with reading this book and having a bit more literature and a bit of awareness, I'm actually starting to implement that more and come away from certain relationships and certain business partners who would expect me to say yes to certain things, and I've noticed that they notice.
Good. And I think that's a good change. So one thing I would say to all of you, in fact, is I always ask myself where I want to be mentally, emotionally, and physically in a month. Like, so how have I moved forwards? So when I look at the start of September, how have I moved forwards mentally, emotionally, and physically? And it's something I always ask myself. I don't get very formal with it. I don't put much SRS like behind it, but it's just something for me personally. It's like, right, at the start of September, how do I want to feel? So like, I know mentally and emotionally, I want to feel at the start of September as though I've taken a break. Like, because this morning I was with a friend and could barely talk because I was so exhausted from the year so far. So I know at the start, and I want to feel physically strong and light at the start. I'm not sure that's going to happen after August and all the holidays, but I definitely, my main priority is I would like to feel emotionally and mentally lighter. so that I feel like I've had that break. So it's always like, okay, what's that? And it doesn't become, it's not like my direct plan. It's just that feeling. It's just a feel. So I would always say to you, okay, in a month, what do you want to feel like? So you're already having some of those epiphanies are in your mind. You're like, at the start of September, I want to at least said no 4 times or 5 times, and not actually. Do you know what I mean? If your husband or your partner says, "Do you want to go out for dinner?" Don't say. It's saying no to the right things that are distracting you and preventing you from moving forward. So, cool, good share. Thanks, Marianne.
No problem. Thank you.
Anyone else? Sheridan. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning, everybody. Well, I feel like a racehorse at the at the starting line, just ready to fly. And I'm in my last week of the 28-day thing / first week of the elite thing. So I'm kind of in a place where with the elite thing, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's kind of like the first thing.
Yeah.
And the things that I struggle with is I've just, okay, so I know this is being recorded, isn't it? Okay, so I've just divorced, well, not just, last 5 years, I've just divorced a psychopath from hell who has completely destroyed my family. I've got 4 kids, lives in tatters. I've got to make big money. And I'm under a bit of time pressure because the house has got to be sold in a couple of years. And I've got still got 2 at home. My 15-year-old, severe mental health issues because of all this. He's got complex PTSD. It's just a nightmare. Anyway, so I've got all that dealing with that sometimes requires my immediate attention. So for me, owning my own business is the only way to go. I've owned my own business all my adult life. I have got a business at the moment. In fact, I've got kind of 2. I board dogs, which means I can have a dog sat on my sofa for 25 quid while I'm getting on for other stuff, right? My other business, I'm a tarot reader and I work predominantly from TikTok, and I do face-to-face and readings via Zoom and stuff like that as well. But I'm trying to build it up because I'm motivated by money and I really want to, I've had successful businesses in the past and I really want to succeed again. So I'm here because I want a ass kicking from you because I know I need that. It's really difficult to do all of this on my own. And I like the camaraderie with the group and, you know, I feed off of that, and I need the accountability.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise the consistency slips. But I feel like I'm in this little place now. I haven't quite started the new thing, and I really want to go, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And actually, August for me, because I've got no partner in my life, and a lot of friends and family we've had to disassociate ourselves from. Relationships is not on the top of my list. It's more the relationship with myself.
Okay.
And
good.
I need to get going. I'm raring to go.
Okay. So first things first, like you talk about like being driven by money and the need for money. Do you know that figure in your head?
Yeah, I kind of want obscene amounts of money. Sorry, I'm really unapologetic about it because I know
that's fine.
Right. I know it does. Yeah. I've had very, very, very dark moments over the last 5 years or so, and I've thought, what's the one thing that would make a difference? And I know it's money. We've been eating out of food banks. I've been around the woods collecting firewood to heat the, you know, burn on the fire downstairs. I live in an old cottage. I mean, you know, it's money is going to make our life better.
All right, that's fine. So, what I need to gather is at what point when you start earning money, it's going to start making you feel happier. Like, like.
Okay, when I've got shot of universal credit, I'm stuck in a benefits trap. Okay. Right? It's
a life. You need, let's say, so I understand, because how much do you need a month to do that? Okay,
so, well, annually, my need to earn figure is in excess of a year. I just need that to survive, probably more now with the rise in electric costs and all the rest of it. My want to earn figure is probably more like 25 grand plus, or you know, up to 50 grand, whatever. And my love to earn figure would be way over that.
Okay.
Way over 50 grand.
So you're on university. So how is business now?
Yeah, it's okay, up and down. It depends on the effort I put into it, and sometimes my family situation leaves me so exhausted I find it very difficult. You don't mind telling me now, what roughly are you on a month now? Business wise, well, with my business, or with the benefit stuff as well? No, just the business. Like, what's your business taking? Well, I'm probably only on about 7 grand. A year? Yeah. A year, that's fine. So what's that, about 500 a month, roughly? Yeah. Yeah. About 500. Okay, that's cool. So we need to get you to around 15, to around 1250, I think. That would be roughly around what you're talking about. So what you need to find a month extra is around 750 quid a month. How much do you charge for your services? Well, at the moment on thing is with TikTok, it's kind of like a loss leader, because but there's so many people there. It's just the payoff is that it builds up my profile. And what followers have you got on TikTok? I charge, sorry? How many followers do you have on TikTok? About just over 22,000. Okay, that's good. And how often do you post? Well, I do lives, and I try and get on at least 4 times a week. Okay. So, like, I think that I've been experimenting with TikTok, and on Wednesday I posted four short videos, and I gained 150 followers in a day. And I think TikTok organically is like ridiculous at the minute. So depending on the commitment that you got, and I know that you've got stuff going on at home, but I still feel like this is where this course comes in terms of having structure, routine, and systems. All right. So to build up a following, I really believe that you, like, every single day you need to be posting every day. Yeah. I get 100 followers every time I go on there live. I get about 100 followers. Right. I charge £3. I've just put it up from 2 to 3 quid just to pull a card for people. Why don't you charge £10 for that? Sorry? Why don't you charge a tenner for that? I'm thinking of playing around with it and maybe putting it up for more cards. The marketing is all about testing, right? I know. It's just that a lot of people will quibble, and I know it's probably because they're not my people. But the thing is, unless you do it, you never know. So what I mean is, if you do the next 3 lives at £5, do the next 3 lives at £7.50, do the next 3 lives at then £10, keep your data, and then actually... I do readings over Zoom, private one-to-one readings. I charge £50 for those. Okay. And I probably actually at the moment only getting about 1 a week. But so I haven't been... If you got 10 a month of those, that would be an extra £500 a month, right? Yeah, I need to be doing 4 a day. Okay. I'd like to do 4 a day. So in terms of what you need to do next is that I need to get John to get you, once you've registered and jumped in with us, I need to get John to get you to unlock the next phase of your course. So what Mary Ann was talking about is building the 10-year vision, reverse engineering that, and going through the whole process to know what you need to do in the first 12 weeks, the first 28 days, the first week, right? Yeah. What I feel, I'm just talking to you, is there's a huge gap in terms of direction. So what you should be doing, like I've just written down here, like key facts. And it's about like, all right, so you're $750 a month short on what you want to earn, right? And then it's a case of working out, right, how do I earn that money? So how many clients do I need to bring in a month? Where are those clients, where are they coming from? And I think you said you did dog sitting. So like if you did dog sitting at £25 a night, like how many dogs can you take? How many roughly can you bring in? So then how do I advertise that? And then all of a sudden what you need to do is create this financial
blueprint, this financial structure where you go, right, these are my predictions for the next year, then the routine and the system is about showing up to actually make that happen. But what you need to do is have a plan, because right now you are just like an explosion of like we say, you literally are ready to jump out of the airplane. But you're going to do it blind. You must have structure, a routine and a system as to prediction. So like predicting your income is absolutely critical in terms of, right, I'm going to do a live, I'm going to offer 10 places to come on for a special price for like, I don't know, like maybe a period of time, and just start getting people through the door. It's then getting testimonials. It's then getting people to return, you know, trying, right, instead of doing one card, do 2 cards for $12.50. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, you've got, how many cards would you normally do? But I guess it's not.
Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes I can have a really great evening and make about 70 quid. And sometimes it's like a tenner. It's just, and you just never, there are days that are better, nights that are better than others. But I've also been reading face to face somewhere locally as well.
Okay.
And I've done that once, and I got about 250 from that on a Saturday.
So we need to make a plan, because
and I'd like to do a membership. I've got the facilities to do a membership, and that's what I'd really like to do as well.
Okay, so that's the direction that we need to go. So you need to start creating your vision and your plan. The next, you need to be posting every day on TikTok at least twice a day. You need to get that following up to 50, 60K, which I believe you can do. By the end of the year, I would say to you, I want you to have 60,000 followers. My aim is to get 10,000 followers by the end of the year. So it's just like 4 videos a day, every single day, like bringing those people in, keep doing their lives, keep pursuing, but you must get all of this down on paper. Like, you've got to like do that. I've got it down on my to-do list today for John to get in contact with you, to get your registration in, and then to unlock the next phase of that course and start going through the videos and start creating that vision and how you're going to do it. Because you've got the energy, you've got the drive, you've got the passion, but you don't have the plan.
Exactly. I feel like at the moment I'm just throwing mud at the wall to see what will stick. And I feel really chaotic, and I don't like to function
it's
like that.
A hamster on a hamster wheel, like pumping really hard, but actually getting fucking nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you must do, and you must get on it, and we'll make sure you're on that course before the weekend, is that you must make sure that you start that 10-year vision, like you start getting into it, because you need direction, you need numbers, you need predictions, you need to test, so that you're absolutely clear. So next time we do the next schedule, which is going to be August the 12th, I want you to be here saying, yep, I've started my plan. I'm on the way. This is what I'm doing. These are how many clients I need. This is what I'm testing. So what I don't want is like a blurb. I want directive chat where you're telling me that I've tested this. This is how many people I've got to. And by the way, one of the things that I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to need to hear is that you're going to have to be patient, because it's going to take you months. Like you are not. It's not going to happen for you right away. And I can feel that you want it right now, and you want it tomorrow. And I'm telling you now, and I'm not being a party pooper or negative. It's not going to fucking happen overnight. All right, and you have to be prepared for that. Okay, and that's for any entrepreneur. Like, it doesn't matter how much drive you've got. It doesn't matter how much intention you have, how good you are at your thing. It does not happen just like that. You get 1 or 2 people who suddenly somehow come out of nowhere and actually dominate the market. And it's, they're just at the right time in the right place. It doesn't happen like that. It's going to take testing. It's going to take resilience, robustness, perseverance, all of the qualities and key values and characteristics we need as an entrepreneur, right? So you've got to be prepared. You've got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else, guys? Anyone want questions? Caroline, you'll be able to watch back this. This is recorded, so anything you've missed, you'll be able to watch back. We'll probably answer on that question. So, Mary.
Yeah, it's sort of less a question and more about last time I found having that accountability challenge for LinkedIn posting was really, really helpful.
Right.
Following our conversation, I've got my next 2 28-day plans mapped.
Right. Leading up to the challenge, right?
Leading up to my challenge, yeah.
Good.
I think my big focus has got to be promoting through social media. And it's sort of where I'm going to get the most bang for my buck. I've been most active on LinkedIn. I need to pick Facebook up. And what I'm trying to get my head around, I don't understand TikTok. I don't get it at the moment. Is TikTok going to be, is it like a bright, shiny object that I should just wait until I've got a bit more headspace?
You should run it now.
Just jump in now.
Now, like I'm telling you, in about another year and a half, you getting organic, it would be like to me, Instagram have completely and utterly fucked up their algorithm right now, and trying to get any. So basically, Instagram don't want to be a photo platform. Instagram is trying to redirect the way that it shows up to compete with TikTok. Facebook and Instagram, obviously one company, and they're looking at TikTok, and TikTok's the #1 platform in the world at the minute. Like, and they're trying to compete with, and they do that through Reels, right? So when you do a Reel, like, so this SRS that I was talking about, the structure, routine, and system, what I'm going to do when I finish with you guys is I'm going to go and sit in my garden, in my wall, and what I end up doing is doing 4 videos for the Man Coach, 4 videos for time domination every single day. It takes me about 30 to 40 minutes to film 8 videos, edit them, and have them ready to go in terms of delivery on social media. Okay, so for TikTok, I'm showing my total ignorance. I'm assuming I need to put captions or subtitles in. So it's all on there. So the first thing you need to do is create an account. Okay,
I've got an account.
Let me just I need to do this without it being on. Okay, so when you do it, you can upload your video. So basically film on your camera.
Yeah.
Then upload.
Okay.
Let's have a look here. So let's upload here, and then you can add captions. So on the side here, you just press captions and they work them out for you, and it's all done for you automatically. You can then go on there and you can go to text. So you can just put your headline at the top. People overthink this. People, like, literally, you go like this. Hi, Mary. Here's 5 productivity tips on how to, like, stop being a bell end and showing up to do your work. Yada, 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 yada. Make it anywhere between 60 to 80 seconds long. Short video form is all that the human brain has attention for right now. Okay, that's where you're at. Short, sharp, engaging stuff. So Drew could do this about her product. This is a product. This is how it benefits the dog, etc. Any of you could do it. Marianne could be like, here's how you play. Here's how you get the first 3 notes on your violin. Ding, 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 ding. Try that. Let me know how it goes. So post it up and then it goes up. So I put up a video the other day. I really wish I'd done this a year ago. And then they all end up going up on here. Okay, so these, you can pin one at the tops and you just go through and it's just content. It's being present everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Like, so if what I often get is messages going, fucking hell, I turn my Facebook on the first thing I see is you, like all my friends who literally don't care what I do, like you're literally everywhere. And that's what you want to be. And that you want to be across all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like LinkedIn, YouTube. And all it takes is the SRS, having a structure. So your format that you create, okay, your routine where you show up to deliver that structure. And then the system is how you put it all together and then get it up and posted. And you just start by doing 1 video. You could do 1 video, Mary, for TikTok. You could then use that for Reels. You could then use that for Facebook. You can then put that on LinkedIn and put it right across.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Mary. Can I just ask? So if you do something, if you record something on TikTok, can you then download it so that you can use it on other platforms?
Yeah, you just download. Yeah, it just downloads your phone. 100%.
Sorry, Mary.
So I was going to say, so basically, record on phone, upload to TikTok, add the captions, good to go.
Down, post.
Got it. So for my accountability then, how often should I?
Today. So our next meet is on the 12th of August. All right. So on the 12th of August, that's 3 weeks. That's 21 days. That's 21 videos you can do between now and then. I wonder how many followers you can pick up using the right hashtags for what you're using in 21. In fact, I challenge all of you to do it. I just challenge you to do that. It's 21 videos, or you can procrastinate. We can get back on and you go, no, I never got around to it. And then you've missed out on doing 21 minutes with Drew. So in terms of your question, Drew, there, in terms of once you start on TikTok, do you have to use it regularly for it to be effective? So I think on any platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, what they often do is look at how often you use it. So then they would determine in their algorithm, like Drew hasn't posted for a week, so we're only going to test it going to a few people. But if they look at James and he's doing 4, they're like, man, they get that engagement. And if someone likes one of your videos or someone comments on your video, when you post your next one, it tends to go to the top of their feeds because that person that liked it or commented has shown an interest in you. Okay, and that's a positive thing, right? So I had a video on Tuesday that went sort of semi-viral. It got like 8,000 views and it had like nearly 500 likes. I was like, fucking hell, to get that on Instagram, I'd have to spend like nearly 20 quid, 30 quid. So I put up another video and everyone that liked it went straight away to the top. And it's that momentum bouncing, okay? So you constantly keep it on top. And all content is showing you. You don't have to be like, right, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. If you ever listen to Gary Vee, he's always jab, 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 punch, okay? And the jabbing is literally just going, this is me as a personality. One of the deciding factors on you being here and investing in me to help you would have been me. Like not necessarily like how many other people sell productivity, how many other people sell town management, but there is an element of my personality that you connect with. Just like the people that I invest with, I invest a little bit in them because I like them. Okay, if I didn't like them, I wouldn't do that. So what social media does is present you as a character. Like, do you know what I mean? So if I'm looking for a copywriter, if I see someone that makes me laugh or see someone that has great family values or see someone that I can resonate with and talk sense, I'm going to go to that person straight away. Like, I don't even know what you offer, but I'm going to go straight to that person. Just 2 seconds, sorry. You all right? Yeah. I'm just here. Have you actually got a bowl for them? Yeah. Okay. So it's just coming out with hands of cereal where she put hands in the cereal box, just like this. So yeah, I think like that is the key with social, is understanding all you're doing is being present. You could be the best personal trainer in the world. You could know how to do the squats the best. You could know how to get the people to get the most out of them, how to get them their bodies of their dream. But if nobody knows, don't tell Baby and Chick because it's my body especially for me. I won't say anything. Because last time Baby and Chick didn't. Look at this girl. Oh, she's gone. Sorry, I love her. Yeah, you could be the best personal trainer, but if nobody knows you or knows about you, you're wasted talent. Do you know what I mean? And like your message is in your voice, and this is why it's so important. Like when I get back from from August, my big push for 4 weeks is the next phase of time domination is creation domination. So it's like about being visible and content creation. So we're going to do some 5-day challenges on that and some challenges. And I've got this course that I've had for a year that I just haven't sold to anyone yet. And it's just how to build content for a year. But it moves so fast that I probably need to update it because do you remember IGTV? Who remembers IGTV? Like they don't even do that anymore. There's a whole section on IGTV in my course. So it's like having to update that. But guys, post like what in theory, 5 minutes, you could do 1 video a day, edit it and put it up. That's as simple as it is. All right. I hope that I've gone on there, Mary. But I hope that helps.
That's great. So I'm committing. Everybody can hear me committing.
Good.
1 a day for the next 21 days.
Who else is going to do that?
It's going to happen.
Who else is going to do that? Anyone else committing to that? Okay. All right. So if you're going to commit to that, oh, Claire's like, oh my God, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. I want you to put in the group. If you're going to do that, so you know me, tag me in the WhatsApp group. You don't have to. There is like no obligation to do that. But if you want to do that, I want you to commit to it, and that could be a little bit of fun to see who's done the 21 out of 21. And just put
interestingly, my learning for yesterday was learning how to do Instagram videos so that I could then use it on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, you want to have subtitles.
Yeah, 100%.
And actually, everything you've just said, I've just downloaded TikTok, because you can do it on your PC, which is so much easier to record on my PC than it is on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, do it anywhere you want. But that's the thing, you can do any. And by the way, guys, if you do long form content, so like on my challenges, I do like 10-minute, well, the 20-minute videos, right? So I send to my guy for like, who charges like £9 an hour, and he will make me 20 pieces of content from that. So he'll literally do like cut, and he'll deliver that. I'll put a picture up I'll put a couple of videos in the group after, so you can see where he's broken down that long form, and I can just put that on there as well. So I've got a Google Drive with over 3,000 cut videos that I can just draw off any time over the last 5 years. And when you go to YouTube, you use YouTube as a library to hold all those videos. So whenever you want to extract one, you just download it to your PC and you send it to an editor, and you just go, can you please break that down into as many pieces of content as possible? Do you know? I'm probably just blowing your mind there a little bit, but I don't like, it's just waking up to it. So anyone else need any advice or guidance from me?
James, I'm sorry that I was late. I have a sort of regular Friday morning meeting.
That's all right.
I don't know who else is here who's new to the group, and I think you were going to just talk to us about, and I don't know whether you've already covered that, what we need to be doing. And also, I like our morning accountability. I see different people putting different things in the morning accountability.
So don't stress too much about what people put in the accountability. Like, stick to the format that I've taught you. For some of the other guys, they're just adding some of the old system that we used to use. Ideally, what I want is the activity, mindset, clarity, and gratitude. When your kill zones are, if you want to put about how you're feeling, it's like whatever you want. There is, and this is the key thing, not to dive. Sometimes we can overthink and worry that we're not achieving, and I get that. It's just, you want to be certain. It's really about you connecting with you as a business owner. So like, for you to be in the prime position, to be primed as a human being to take on business and life, is putting if you want to put some extra things on there in terms of awareness. I often look at the WhatsApp group as a journal. Like, some of the guys really put some in-depth work in there. Some of the older guys literally would just write one word, and it's like, you know, it's important. It's important in that respect. And it's the same with the evening routine on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You do the key things that I've asked you to do, but then if you want to elaborate on that, that's absolutely fine. In terms of the next course, what I've already mentioned to the guys, there is no time stock for you to create that 10-year vision. Now, you come to you've got a head start because you come to the workshop, so you have a really good understanding. But if you watch back at the very start of the presentation, I was talking about SRS, which is structure, routine, and system. And a good structure to have would be watch one video a day, Monday to Friday, and then action it, like what we did on the challenge. They're not very in-depth videos. They're not like turbo, overwhelming, in-depth videos, because you've still got a life to live. You've still got a business to run. This is improving how you run there. But if you try to watch 3 or 4 videos in a day and then you try to implement it all, it suddenly becomes very overwhelming. Whenever I do a course, I watch a video, I go away and think about it. I watch the video again, I make some notes, and then I watch a video again, and then I action. And that's my structure, that's my routine, that's my system in terms of laying out that plan. So for you, it's really about going at a pace you're comfortable at, and making sure that you feel like you're progressing and you know your plan. For me, the idea is at the end of the 12 weeks, you actually do have your plan in place. I don't expect you to have your plan in place like next month, right? It takes time for you to deliberate where you want to go. For me, the goal for you guys who've just come in is that at the end of the 12 weeks, you have a great 10-year vision, you have a great 1-year plan, you have a nailed first quarter in 2023, and you know what you're doing in that first week I'm getting ahead of myself there, in quarter four. So like, you know what your first week tasks are in October, right? So bang, we're off for that year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, James, on the one of the things on the whatever you refer to is the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday one, the evening one.
Yeah.
Some of the guys were putting in something to do with opportunity and I can't remember what the other one was, and I thought actually that's a really good one. So what was the the question for that?
Yeah, so what we used to do before the one we did, we used to have the biggest win, the biggest distraction, and the biggest opportunity. That's right, Drew, isn't it? The biggest win, the biggest opportunity, and the biggest distraction. Okay, so we changed it slightly. And when I asked everyone, the majority said that the one that we use now, they preferred. But you can add that to it as well. Those 3 questions, you can add to what we've got on there. Yeah,
because I find that the win and the fun and the, for me, are often the same.
Okay.
And actually, I think that having, for me, actually, that's useful. Knowing what the distractions were is really useful. Well, like yesterday morning, I think I put in the thing yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I hadn't mapped out my social media content for that day. I spent half an hour sat on my sofa planning my day, thinking, what the fuck am I going to talk about? I haven't, and then it was like a massive distraction. So I think, for me. So actually, that's really helpful.
So I think, guys, if all of you create a folder on your phones, it's called content. Now, I know this is not great with the lighting. So whenever I think of something, I write down a headline. So these are just headlines here. So usually something comes in. I'm trying to get it so it's not fucking.
Oh, don't worry, we can visualize it.
Yeah. So, there you go. So you can see here, and all of these are just headlines. There's probably over 500 headlines there, and they're just reminders about things. So think about everyday life as content, like over listening to someone in the post office, dropping a coffee, like someone kicking off on a train. It's like you can relate. And if you use this mnemonic idea to, AIDA. So you might have heard AIDA. So A is attention. Claire's probably all over this. A is for attention. I is for interest. D is for desire. And A is for the action. And if you base all of your emails on that or your content on that, you should be key. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty good at relating something that's happened in my life to the business world. So analogies I find really easy. It's just if you've had a bit of a dull day the day before.
No, I get it.
Well, actually, I did, because actually, in the end, yesterday, I wrote about something that happened on the workshop that I was delivering on Wednesday. So actually, it's just like always, what have you done this week that you can make some kind of learning point?
100%, like all the time. Like I'm going to talk about this on the next presentation on the 12th. So I'm going to talk about email and the importance of email, and maybe a structure, routine, and system for email. Like every single one of you should be emailing every day. Like there's no 2 ways about it. Like when I look at my email list, it's worth £50,000. So every time I don't send an email, I'm basically ignoring £50,000 worth of people that are in front of me. Like I built that up over 7 years. So I can see by some of the smiles that none of you are doing it probably. Who's emailing here? Okay. How often, Caroline?
Regularly, once a week to over 1,000 people.
Just once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Mary?
Weekly to a very small group.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Caroline, what's your open rate?
Around 20%.
It's not bad. That's good. Mary?
40 to 50.
Good. Nice. Good. All right. So we're going to talk about how you can build one up. I think they're an asset to your business. Like you can either listen to it or not. It's totally up to you. But I'll give you some insights in it and how you can progress it. Okay. Does anyone else need me? Claire, did you get sorted?
Yeah. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, all sorted. I'm in. That's brilliant. Thank you. I think I know we're running out of time now, but
don't worry. Right. No, don't worry.
Yeah, I guess like my only thing, well, a lot of the thoughts that I had have been answered in terms of just like figuring out like how much time to spend in the course and stuff like that.
Right.
So brilliant. I had a kind of a follow-up question, which is like, can we get your journal at all? Because I think that would be really handy.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be brilliant if it's whether it's on Amazon.
So it's available here now. So basically we've just updated this. Okay. So the way that this works now is that it works on the 90-day, but then there are 28-day checkpoints in here as well that you work towards. Okay, so you can put in your 28 days. So, for example, you put all of your 28-day plans in here. Okay, and then what you end up doing is you have your timetable here. Then you have your weekly focus here, so it's clear on what they are between maintenance and growth. Right, maintenance being the everyday running of your business and life, and then the growth elements of how you put yourself out your comfort zones. And then what you basically have is your daily things. So some of those questions I just was going over for Caroline here, where your time's going in the day, your top 3 things you want to achieve. So I kind of listened to a lot of the people that were talking about it, and I think the old one was a little bit out of date, and this one here just presents a bit more of a updated, evolved like structure that will allow you to work towards everything you're trying to achieve.
Cool. Can I just say something about what you write stuff in? I've bought so many different planners, journals, whatever, including one this year that was quite expensive. But actually, I think they were all different. And James, I showed you this one when we were in Birmingham. I have to say, this is the first time that actually I feel tempted to go and sit down and review my day.
Love it.
The way that I've laid it out is how it follows my thought process. So and it just makes such a massive difference when you've got something that you can actually that's workable for you. It's
a Bible. So like I think on that, and as well, Claire, what you're talking about is like that's your Bible. Like everything it's almost like your bank statements, right? You know, in a bank statement, it tells you how much money you've spent and not, and what this is telling you where your time's going and how you're accountable for it.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, because I've got a great planner that I use and I'm really happy with it. But what I wanted was I thought the idea of your journal would be really good, because it will keep me. I can then transpose the stuff from the structure of the planner onto my day planner and just have it. So like that's perfect. And I like things written, because I've had the 28-day plan like stuck on my wall from a spreadsheet that I did in the first, and I was like, this doesn't really work for me. I prefer having it like handwritten in front of me here. So that would be brilliant. Cool. I'll get that. That's one thing. But the other thing was really just an accountability thing, because I'm feeling really flat at the moment. And I'm not about one aspect of my business, which is I'm trying to figure out how to reignite my membership, which has gone really bloody silent the last month. And I had some advice from Vicky Jakes, who I think you probably know, who does she does a lot of website stuff, and she's been running memberships for about 5 years. And so I was on a call earlier this week, and she said, stop stressing about it, just basically you don't have to do big launches, just do like I don't know, I think Denise Thomas and people like that, just do like rolling every month. Just welcome people into the group, because it's a little copywriting club for photographers. It's not like a big 5-day challenge membership.
Do they pay?
Sorry?
Do they pay?
Yeah. So it's a paid membership. So it's not massive money, but for me, if I can get, at the moment I've got 8 people in there on founder member rates of like 24 quid a month. But if I can get it up to, so the next opening of the membership is going to be more like 30 quid a month. But if I can get another 30 people in at the 30 quid a month, that's a decent amount of money.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's, so for me, that's because with copywriting, the difficulty is that you have big chunks of work that come in. And then I've got like little residual things where I do like, I don't know, somebody's email once a month, but that's like 50 quid. That's nothing, you know, that's the weekly shop at Sainsbury's. But actually the money that pays the rent tends to be these big chunks, and I need to make the membership be money that pays the rent, and then the big chunks are the like the extra. I know what I mean. But I need to have that. What I need is it's a recurring revenue question, basically.
That's fine. I get it. I totally get it. So when they're in the membership with you, is what's your job role within it? Is it to write copy for them, or just to advise?
We could teach them how to write different aspects of copy. So we've just had 2 months learning how to write blogs. This month I tried to launch on emails, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And actually everyone was on holiday, so it was a bit flat. So I'm going to start next month drilling them about lead magnets, and then with lead magnets will come email, because the lead magnet is obviously to capture the emails to encourage them to actually have a list, and then they're going to have to be taught how to set up MailerLite, or some of them have very specific photography. See you, Mary. Yeah,
so,
very specific.
So in terms of the structure of it, like
Yeah.
the thought process that, like this is just the first thing that comes into my mind, and obviously you don't have to go to this, but it's definitely worth food for thought. So if you were to do a 1 hour a week, like a Zoom 1 hour a week, and you ask people to send in their work for you to critique, and you did that on Zoom, like what we're doing now. So what you would do is bring up the document, you go through, and she sent, and someone would say, right, someone sent through this email, someone sent through this headline. What you could do is a breakdown critique for each of those people. And what you also are doing is creating content, because you can then put that up on your social media, okay, as long as everyone's said that they're willing to do that. If you then have that, and then you have like maybe one module a week where they have something that they want to focus on, or you educate them in some way with like a video, like I think that you could possibly put that membership up to like 60 to 80 pounds a month, 99 pounds a month. You know, they're getting 4 Zoom calls a month. And by the way, that's like only, so let's say it was 99 pounds, for example. Like, I'm not saying you have to do that, but if you did, and you got 10 people in there, right? So that's £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
In theory, your workload when it comes to that is, let's say you do 4 1 hour Zooms.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's say that you do, you spend an hour putting together the module and then putting it up and explaining it and making sure it's a really good thing. So it would end up being £1,000 divided by 8 hours. That's £125 an hour.
Yeah. As
passive income. You're only committing 8 hours a month to that membership, but actually you're giving an awful lot of value. And then you might have something where you go, right, guys, I'm opening up a space for 4 people who want to come and work with me a bit closer for £500 a month for 4 weeks. Over 4 weeks, we're going to create your sales page, or we're going to create a pack of email write-ups, or whatever it's going to be, whatever they need from you. And for £500, that you might bring them in. And then you say, would you like to work with me on a one-on-one basis? I charge like £500 a month, whatever it is. What you have is this flagship membership where you're offering tons and tons of value, but then there's different stages. Can you just give me 1 second?
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course.
Sorry. Sorry, baby's just woken up.
Oh, hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
I know.
Hello.
So I think that is another idea in terms of, and the other thing is why open and close it? Why don't you just keep it open?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That was going back to that idea that came up earlier on this week, or whenever. It was earlier this week. Was like, instead of it being, because I think when I started, I was like, okay, I'll have founder members, and then I'll open it again for other people. And I've got a few people who've signed up for like when I open the doors again. But actually, I'm on rethinking it. Actually, if I just have it as a rolling thing, so people can come in every month. Yeah. And they can, I can then promote whatever the topic is of the next month for the month prior, and then just say to people, come and join us. The big coaching call is at the beginning of August or beginning of September or whatever, and then just keep inviting people in.
100%, and there's a lot, and then it's a case of looking at all of the ways that you can invite people in. So it might be a 3-day festival, it might be a 5-day challenge, it might be a masterclass. You might, yes. I will. I'm nearly finished, and then we get some juice, okay? You've been very patient. Love you. And then you might even go, right, do you know what? I'm going to host a workshop for free, and I'm going to bring people down, and you're going to upsell people there. Do you know what I mean? And this is where that planning of the next phase really comes in, because then you can start getting excited about, God, where can this go with the revenue? And I worked with...
That would be amazing. that's like in my dream list, is to
Yeah.
like have a kind of copywriting retreat where people can come and
yeah. And then what's to stop you going away to Spain for 4 days? Like when I went to Morocco, like what Phil does, and like going away for 4 days, and we're working on those problems.
Yeah.
You take this and then go and find your sister. All right, ready? No, are you ready? There's
That
always that
sounds
period when they wake
boring.
up and they just and then they get to the point where they're ready to.
Yeah, ready to go, definitely. Let's let you go, James.
That's fine. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. There you go, my darling. So, but the possibilities are endless for you in that respect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, James. To be honest, that's bang on track of kind of what I was trying to think of. So that's going to give me loads of food for thought, because I think even if my difficulty is always like what price point these photographers are at, because they are ridiculously like notoriously bad at putting their hands in their pocket.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get it. So so with the photographers, what is it that you want to do with them? Do you want to help them create copy to go with the pictures?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because
Okay.
the reason they became my niche was that they all have very pretty websites, lots of galleries, but no words to tell people what to do, no words that help SEO, no story, no nothing. You know, they tend to like go, I've got 10 awards from whatever, and I'm brilliant because I picked up a camera when I was 10, and that's it. You know, that's their story. Yeah, so the copywriting aspect is, and they hate writing, and they don't want to do it, and blah blah blah. So with the membership is like, okay, you can't afford to pay for a full-time copywriter.
No, I get it.
Right. So let me teach you how to do some of the basic stuff, and then the idea fundamentally is like when they actually want a full website rewrite, they'd probably come to me, or they recommend me to their friends, or whatever. And I've got enough of that kind of, not enough, but a reasonable amount of that kind of business coming in on the big stuff. But I've only got the capacity to write so much.
Have you got friends that are photographers?
I've got one in particular, and
ask them. Ask them what would you pay?
Oh, he's a tightwad. He wouldn't pay anything. No, seriously, he is. He's a right tightwad. In fact, he was what inspired me to go into my niche. But I've kind of asked. I've got a lot of photographers. I'm in a membership. Well, I don't pay for it. I've been invited into a photography membership group, and I'm like their resident copywriter. So there's quite a lot that I do in there anyway.
I think it's really getting to the root causes of the problem, like really attacking that through your content. So like, what is the problem that they have when they can't write? What is that like? And find the emotional connection to it. So like with time management, the emotional connection is, man, it's burnout, it's going around in circles, it's not getting anything done, it's staying hollow, the same, it's affecting other people. So like, that's what I mean by when I say emotional connection to the problem. Like, what do they feel like? What keeps them awake at night when they can't actually write this stuff? How's it holding them back? And I think that's where you have to maybe really refine or go in even more depth about how you pull those people into your world.
Yeah.
How do you stand out? Do you know what I mean? In terms of understanding them in that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, perfect. Brilliant. Thank you.
Perfect. Cool. Drew, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Have you got a show soon?
It's 3 weeks. It's going to be interesting because we're 4 weeks. But it's kind of slightly handle cranking because it's stuff that I've already done. It's just to an international conference that's being hosted in the UK rather than a new audience. So it's I'm quite chilled about that. I'm all pretty much ready to go. Right. Just a couple of things to do, but otherwise stands booked, accommodations booked, all the kit I need for the stands sorted. Right. My price list is even up to date.
Wow, we are changed.
I know.
I love it.
So yeah, the one that's giving me a slight headache at the moment is the move into equine. The person that's that I'm effectively acquiring the business from is being less than speedy with his exercise. And basically I said, if you don't, I haven't put it in these terms because he's a gentleman. I don't talk to gentlemen like this, but basically if he doesn't pull his finger out and walking away, because I said this needed a big launch at the Beaver conference at the beginning of September. That's 5 weeks away. I've negotiated a space in the registration hall to have an enormous piece of our equipment on display and a CS on stand X. And that's not charging me. They're not charging me for that, but we've got to get this thing made. And he's sitting on his hands with various things. And it's, you know, he in May was saying, I want to do this yesterday. And here we are at mid-July. And you know, we're still faffing around.
Like it's always the way when somebody's trying to give up their business or give it, like they just like you're not the first person, and I'm sure you won't be the last. Like one of my clients was he was trying to sell his business much, like it was like nearly for 50 million, like, but he like I had worked with him for 3 years and it dragged on for 2. I'm not saying yours will, but
no, well, it won't, because it's not going to happen. I've got a perfectly good business. I mean, in many ways, it's causing me quite a lot of hassle because I have to look at my branding, because my branding is all around dogs and this is equine. So yeah, but it's just a thing to do. You know, I'm not stressing about it. I was a bit cross last night and I shot at the hip at somebody else who's sort of involved in the fringes, but I didn't attack him, but I basically said, you know, this isn't going to happen and it's going to affect you too. So sort them out. Yeah, but everything else, I'm actually quite pleased. I've had a good week. I've been pretty focused most of the time. I still haven't got my Q3 and Q4 quarters out my head and onto paper. That's the only thing I have rolling from one list to the next.
That's fine. But I think like you're in control, which is the main thing that I want.
Yeah, I'm in control. I've got 2 other new bits of kit under development, so I'm in negotiation with factories over production of those and pricing and things. So I'm excited by both of them. Yeah, so one of these days I'll start selling some of these things I keep coming up with.
Maybe it will come. Like, you know, like I said, like in Q2, I built and spent all my time rebuilding and doing everything. And you do have to have that time where you turn around and you just go, right, now it's time to sell. Like, you know, you build, and then you just have to set this up. Like for me, Q4 is just like putting it all out there.
Yeah, that's my program for Q4 is very much that. I'm already slightly building towards that. You're talking about emails. I sent one to 200 vets last week, and I've got 400 sales out of it. So £400 worth of sales. So better than poke me out with a sharp stick.
100%. No, but that's what you do. And I'll talk about this. It's kind of like that email relationship building. So you're building a relationship with that list, and it doesn't always have to be sell. It's just talking about life again. It's exactly the same, right? With a better open rate than social media. Like with social media, it's like
this was direct sell. It's basically saying if you don't have decent positioning aids, your imaging will be shit, so your diagnosis will be up the spouts.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's going well. I hope you make tons and tons of sales from it.
We'll see.
This is literally.
You've got hands full there.
You just noticed herself in the screen, haven't you? She's sitting with me on the plane on Wednesday, and Jemima said, "Well, I did Alba when we went to Tenerife with Alba," and she went, "It's your turn this time." So she's got to sit with me. I've got to sit with her. So I'm hoping she's going to play ball.
So I've got the copywriter that I met on the train coming from Birmingham to Plymouth. She's already doing stuff for me.
Who's that?
Oh no, you're not seeing on the train, because I went from Birmingham to Plymouth because I went down to the boat to do more work on the bloody boat. That's what I'm doing in August. The boat is finally in the water, and we'll then sail down the Tamar, and depending on the weather, we'll either turn left or we'll turn right. So that's our sort of going somewhere without a plan. But no, there's this, got chatting to this lassie on the train, and turned out she was a copywriter who also has a marketing background. and we just really gelled. And I thought, actually, you know, I'm needing somebody to have a look at in my product pages and things. So, so I've got her rolling on that already. So she's done my 3 key pages first.
Look at that. That's mental, isn't it? Wow. It's such a small world.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, and she speaks Japanese, and if this equine thing comes off, there's a distributor in Japan. So I thought that'd be handy too, if we can actually speak to these people in their own language.
The universe sends people our way just
sometimes.
I really believe it. I really believe it. Right, I am going to go because this is getting out of hand. So guys, it's great to see you all. Thanks for being here. And then, so our next one is going to be the 12th. From Tuesday night, my phone is literally going off. All right, so John's going to make sure that he looks after you. John will be a point of contact, but I'll explain all of that on WhatsApp while we go abroad. 2 secs, sorry. You're going to have to cry it out a minute, mate. So I'll explain that in the WhatsApp group. And if there's any final things that you need from me, I'll be around Monday, Tuesday, just to clear up and wrap up. All right, guys. Good luck with the 21-day challenge.
Oh, thanks, James.
See ya. Bye, guys.